without edits in our traditional format. We look forward to the Oscars Sunday, February 24th. Okay. The Oscars. Last year, they announced Kevin Hart as host. Tweets resurface of crude jokes from Kevin Hart's past. Kevin Hart is removed as host. Kevin Hart refuses to apologize. People beg Kevin Hart to take the spot back. No one wants to touch the seat of the Oscars because Kevin Hart, most people were on his side. Ellen DeGeneres begs Kevin Hart to take the role back, says she contacted the Oscars and they want him back in the role. Kevin Hart refuses. The Oscars then say that they are cutting 4 awards from the live telecast and will present them during commercial. Fans go crazy. Oscars go back on that decision. Oh my God. Basically, the Oscars, I think, have put themselves in a position, for better or worse, that this Sunday is a must-watch show. And I think that sounds crazy because why, after all this controversy and mishaps and months of just telling your fans you don't know what you're doing, why would this be a must-watch show? Because when you look at a car crash, you can't help but look away. I mean, this show is going to be abysmal, and hopefully it succeeds, but I don't see a world in which it will, because they don't have a host this year. I forgot to mention that in my rundown of the Oscars crazy timeline over the past year. No host. They're going to have a number of segments, which will be interesting, I guess. And yeah, just the disrespect they showed to the film community. I understand that they took it back, and I think that was smart of them to listen to the fans and reverse the decision. But the disrespect to say, we're going to air cinematography, film editing, live action short, and makeup and hairstyling during commercial. The Oscars is an award show. They want to attract viewers from all outlets. I understand that. Advertising is a thing. They need to keep their advertisers intact, and they can't lose viewership, because if they lose viewership, then they lose the advertisers. But when does it become about money versus fan service? And this isn't the fan service where it's a movie and the fans are begging for a certain thing to happen and the movie gives in. That's different. Fan service here is giving film lovers a night celebrating film. And if you are going to cut 4 awards, you are telling your fans, we care more about our advertisers and our money than you, which is completely disrespectful. It's disrespectful to me as a film fan. It's disrespectful to Mike, who's not here. It's disrespectful to the millions of people who tune into the Oscars as film fans, not as award show fans. I understand live action short, makeup and hairstyling. They seem like lesser awards. Don't get me wrong. There are thousands of people who work very hard on projects within those categories that should have their work put on the big screen. But part of me is like, okay, I can understand presenting those during commercial. But cinematography and film editing, these are the awards that make the movies watchable. These are the people that cut together the final cut of the film. Without these people, you just have a bunch of filler action, no smooth transitions. These are the people that make the final product of the movie. And the idea that you would just put those during commercial, credit, they're not part of the murderer's row of awards such as Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Supporting Roles, Best Picture, stuff like that. But it's utter disrespectful to the thousands of people who work so hard on these movies, tireless months, consistently, and just to say we're going to present those during commercial, I'm glad they reversed this decision. But the idea that they would even consider this just to retain not even viewers, but advertisers, because they want to keep the broadcast concise, don't do that, Oscars. You're only shooting yourselves in the foot. Anyways, the host list Oscars will be this Sunday, February 24th. And honestly, as a film fan and as just a fan of TV in general and award shows, you don't want to miss it, because I want to see what they attempt to do to try and pull this off. All right, our final news story of today is the new Rocketman trailer. Just going to give a bit of a recap, review, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. I love musical biopics. I loved Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought that was an amazing film, even though a lot of people had some things to say about it not being Best Picture worthy because of its, trouble with facts and all that. But yeah, I love that movie, and when I heard that they were doing a Rocketman movie with Taron Egerton, I was very excited. Taron Egerton was in an animated movie called Sing, where he sang in the film's climax, he sang I'm Still Standing by Elton John, and I believe that's what got him this role, because they heard how well he can sing Elton John. And this trailer, it was a bit of it really wasn't plot-based, it was more so explaining how Taron Egerton is going to be actually singing. And so I think that's what this movie is going to try to do, part of its marketing, to set it apart from Bohemian Rhapsody. As we know, Bohemian Rhapsody was a mix of Freddie Mercury's vocals and Rami Malek's, but we all know after watching that movie that you could hear more Freddie, and Rami probably had his voice intertwined in there somewhere, but it was mostly Freddie dominant. This movie seems like it's going to be all Taron singing, which is great because Elton John gave him the blessing to say that. Elton John obviously is still alive. Unfortunately, Freddie Mercury passed, so they weren't able to get his blessing to have Rami record. We don't have to talk about the vocals of Bohemian Rhapsody, because I thought it was very successful, and I thought they edited it fantastically, and it worked out in the end. But I think that's a good idea for Rocketman, to show that they're different. They're not going to be similar. It's going to be similar in style to Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's not going to be a carbon copy of that movie. And yeah, some of the stuff we see, I love seeing the recreation of historical moments. We saw Elton John's sparkly Dodgers uniform. We saw some of his more iconic garments and all that. And yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. This trailer didn't show a whole bunch. The song playing over, I believe, was Tiny Dancer. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Tiny Dancer. And yeah, I'm very excited to see this movie. It stars Taron Egerton, and it comes out on March 31st. And actually, we did get one mailbag question. I do know the person, so it doesn't necessarily count for a full episode, but we're going to address it anyways. This comes from Nick Farrington on Twitter. Nick, how's it going? I hope everything is going great. And his question goes, with the success of Bohemian Rhapsody and the upcoming movies Rocketman and Yesterday, are we entering a boom of classic rock movies? And what are your thoughts / artists you want to see hit the movie market next? All right. Thank you so much for the question, Nick. A great question as well. Yesterday, didn't really get to talk about that movie on today's show, but just to give a quick rundown, a man gets hit by a car, all the power goes out, and when he's back, he is the only one that remembers the Beatles, and so he starts writing their songs, and everyone thinks he's a genius, because obviously the Beatles songs were so great, and even though this movie seems to be given away completely in the trailer, in its first trailer as well, I think it is a genius idea, and I'm excited to see what happens with that movie. Hopefully we get a cameo from Paul McCartney in there somewhere. To answer your question, I think classic rock movies or classic rock biopics might just be the new wave, because a lot of movies these days want to enter nostalgia. We even see with Captain Marvel is a 90s movie, and they constantly use Blockbuster Video in the trailers to market it. So the idea of going back to the 80s and going back to the 70s and doing these classic rock movies, I think, is a genius idea. I think a lot of studios should get on this and try to lock down the rights to do biopics on these artists of old, and yeah, keep doing that. I would love to see a Beatles biopic, not just using Beatles songs for the movie Yesterday. There are so many I would love to see. A U2 biopic? Come on. Don't stop with just Rocketman and Bohemian Rhapsody. Hopefully Rocketman is a financial success, because if it is, I think we will be seeing a lot more classic rock biopics. And then to answer your second question, what are your thoughts / artists you want to see hit the movie market next? It's tough. Trying to think of a few. I'd love to see an Oasis biopic. It seems like we'll get more and more obscure with groups and artists as it goes on. But yeah, there's a lot of cool artists. I really enjoyed Straight Outta Compton, obviously more rap than classic rock, but I think that would be that was a fun movie. So if we're going to do more rap ones, I think an Eminem biopic would be fun for sure. There's a lot that they could do. I think The Killers would be another great one. Yeah, classic rock biopics. Don't stop with just Rocketman and Bohemian Rhapsody. Keep bringing them on. And with that being said, it is time to roll credits. All right, we might be rolling credits for a while here because, like I teased at the beginning, we have some major announcements for this show. I'll start with the one that might be a little more expected. Starting this week, starting Friday, we are going to be doing 2 episodes a week. Wednesdays, we will be releasing movie news episodes where we will cover the latest movie news and just of the week, box office recaps, all that good stuff. Episodes like this will stay consistent to Wednesdays. That is not changing. But now, on Fridays, we will also be doing movie reviews, episodes that are exclusively a review of a full movie. So we're going to start Friday with Boogie Nights. Mike has been begging me to watch this movie forever. I've put it off too long, and I'm excited to review it with him. He'll probably get the forefront of that episode because it seems like a movie that he's wanted to do for a while. So, yeah, movie review episodes start again Friday. We're no longer doing our old Real Talk format where we would do 30 minutes of news, 15 minutes of a movie review for each episode. Now we're doing 2 separate episodes. Wednesday's movie news, Friday's movie reviews. All right, the second big announcement is this past week, I secured a working relationship, I guess you could say, with Ben Bateman and Andrew Guy from the Action Guys on Collider Podcasts. Voice crack there, I'm so nervous, I guess. And also from Action Movie Anatomy on the Popcorn Talk Network. I will be their PR coordinator for the foreseeable future. This role means the world to me. And yeah, it's going to get me a lot of experience in the industry. And I'm going to be able to do a lot of cool stuff for them, be booking them guests for their show. And yeah, I can't wait to really get that rolling. Right now, it's still early stages. I'm still kind of like, they're kind of holding my hand through it and letting me get used to everything. But I am so ready to get that rolling. Hopefully it leads into bigger and better things. And yeah, Ben and Andrew have been so supportive on the call I had with them. They gave me what they said basically to me on that call. It meant the world. A lot of great compliments, a lot of compliments on my professionalism, which really took me aback and made me just feel like everything I've been working towards has been worth it. So a big shout out to Ben and Andrew. Make sure you check out their show, Action Movie Anatomy. New episodes Wednesdays every week on Wednesdays, live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Popcorn Talk Network on YouTube. You can also catch replays of that on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. The Action Guys also comes out on Collider every Friday on Collider Podcast YouTube, but I think now they're shifting more into doing their full episodes on iTunes, and they'll do clips of video put on YouTube. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's a great working relationship. It's a great opportunity for me and for Blockbuster Breakdown as a whole. Hopefully we can get more eyes on this show, as well as me getting more eyes on their show, working relationship. And yeah, they're 2 of my heroes, 2 of the guys I look up to the most, 2 of my role models in the entertainment industry. So I can't wait to get that off the ground. With that being said, we're running out of time. I have been your host, Liam Crowley. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of Blockbuster Breakdown. We'll be back on Friday with a movie review with Mike again. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you